And guys, so in today's video, I wanted to talk to you and break down these absolutely beautiful 1 to 2 risk to reward trades that we took on the pound versus the US dollar over the last 2 days, giving us a net total of 4% gain on the account for this week. And as we can see, not only did I take these trades myself personally, but I also sent them into the Discord for everyone else to be able to take with me. So as you can see, we closed for 2% on this trade, and we also closed for 2% on this trade, giving us a net total of 4% for the week. Now, if you're not part of the Discord already, then I would highly recommend going down in the description and clicking the link to become part of the community so that you can gain access to my setups on a daily basis, so you can generate some crazy results like we have been over the last few months. As we can see, for May, we're already at 4%. Plus the additional 4% that we've generated this week. In April, we've done 20%. So it just goes to show that having a consistently profitable trading strategy is going to gain you so much more results than jumping around and doing all sorts of different strategies from all sorts of different creators. You just have to find one strategy, stick to it, become part of one community, and stick to that community, and you will become profitable. But enough said, let's jump straight into the analysis of both of these trades. They were the exact same trading strategy that I have been teaching on my YouTube channel for nearly coming up to 1 year now. But what I'll do is I'll quickly remove the majority of these drawings that are on the screen right now so we can replay these charts and go over these ourselves. Now, I did have a lot of questions from a couple of the members inside of the Discord as to why I took the second trade instead of the first one on GU, but we'll go into that in just a little while. So first things first, what we do when we come onto our charts is we identify the Asia low and the Asia high. Now, this is a very key part in this trading strategy because this is what's going to give us the foundation in order for us to take any sort of trade. So first things first, we have to understand what we're looking for. Now, the Asia high and the Asia low is the time between midnight and 7 a.m. UK time. And between this time, whatever range is created, as we can see, the highest point in this trading range is right here, and the lowest point is right here, as denoted by this blue background, which is given to me by this indicator. So for me to understand that I'm going to be taking a trade on GBP USD, I first have to know where my Asia range is. Now, in this instance, this is the highest point of the Asia range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it out with this line, and this is the lowest point of the Asia range all the way down here. So let me go back one more candle so that we are now within the Asia range. And now once we're inside of the Asia range, all we're simply going to do is sit on our hands until we get a sweep. Now, as we can see right here, we get this nice sweep of the Asia high. So now this is going to take us nicely into step 2, which is we have to now identify a market structure shift. Now, in order for us to get a market structure shift, we would have to see price break and close below this low right here. Now, the reason for that is because price was creating a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and higher high up here. So in order for us to get a lower low, we would then have to break this previous lower high, and price would have to give us a lower low, then give us a lower high, which we would take the entry on, and then we can ride that down until a new lower low. So that is the basic theory behind how we are going to be taking any trades utilizing the Judas swing. Now, another confluence that we like to add within our Discord is we like to identify higher time frame areas of interest. So as we can see, if we look to the left over here just a little bit, we can see that we've got this beautiful wick all the way up at the top here. Now, this wick is going to be fundamental in this trade that we took the other day because it will stop us from taking a premature loss. Now, the reason why we're waiting for this wick right here is because this is where the markets took a lot of liquidity and then actually gave us that market structure shift to the downside, as we can see right here. It is highly likely that the markets will gravitate towards this area before giving us the market structure shift, because this is where the markets previously took liquidity and then gave us this market structure shift. Therefore, what we're going to do is we're simply going to sit on our hands until price comes up and tags us into this wick that we have up here. Now, as we're doing this, what we're going to notice is that price actually gives us a false market structure shift. So right here, the markets give us this false market structure shift, as we can see denoted like this. So what we had is a higher high, higher low, higher high, and the price gave us this lower low, breaking this previous higher low. Now, as price has done this, we are again going to be just sitting on our hands because we're not interested in this market structure shift right here, because price hasn't tapped into our area of interest, which is this wick right here. So because price hasn't tapped into that area up there, we're not going to be taking this market structure shift because it is very likely that this is a fake market structure shift. And as we can see right here, price then actually goes and takes everyone who got into this trade out. And I had a lot of messages from you guys on Discord asking me why I didn't take this trade right here. And this is the exact reason why. Having higher time frame areas of interest is going to save you from getting caught in these fake market structure shifts, because price is not in a valid area to start moving in the opposite direction from. Therefore, it is very, very key that we understand where all of these areas are on the higher time frame so that we can stop ourselves from taking these bad quality trades. So as you can see, we saved ourselves in the Discord from taking this sell right here, which would have resulted in a loss. And instead, we waited for this tap into this higher time frame zone. Now, once it tapped into that zone, this is the area we were waiting for price to break below so that we would have a market structure shift. And as we can see, price then breaks below it just there beautifully. And after that, what we did is we identified our area of interest that we were going to be taking an entry from. Now, as we can see right here, I've highlighted this order block, which was the up close candle before the move down that gave us the market structure shift. And this is exactly where we took our short position from. We put our stop losses just above the high, and we targeted the opposing liquidity, which was the Asia low. So once all of this was in place, we then simply enter our limits into our MetaTrader and we sit back and we watch. And as you can see, we were tapped in. Price then goes a little higher all the way to the extreme order block right there, and then it just plummets, runs straight for our take profit and gives us a beautiful 2% gain on the account. So now this was the trade we took just a few days ago on GBP USD, and it was absolutely perfect because we made sure that we weren't caught out by this fake market structure shift. We waited for price to tap into this higher time frame area of interest, and then we got this beautiful entry which gave us an amazing 1 to 2. And after that, the reason why we always make sure that we have optimum targets is because, as you can see right here, price then decided to reverse. Price didn't hold at this area. All it simply did was react. We caught the reaction. We took it to the Asia low, which is our most prominent and most frequent area that we would target for our take profits. And then price then decided to run away. So we have to understand not only where to enter the markets, but also where to exit the markets, as that is also as important as being in a trade. Now, having said all of that, let's quickly fast forward to yesterday, which was the second GBP USD trade that we took. So if I play price on, what we can see is that price actually comes up in the morning, giving us a very similar scenario. So again, if I just quickly backtrack to 7 o'clock, what we can see is that overnight we had all of this build up during the Asia session. And the Asia session low right here is the lowest point that we've had within this range. And this high right here is the highest point we've had within the Asia range overnight. So as you can see, the Asia range for me starts at midnight and then it ends at 7 o'clock in the morning. And anything that's happened in between is now my Asia range. After this, I quickly went up onto the higher time frames so that I could then try and identify a higher time frame area of interest. And as we can see, if I go up to the 4 hourly, we can see all the way up at the top, we've got this nice order block right here. And also we've got this crazy massive fair value gap nested right below it. So once we identify the order block and the fair value gap just like this, what we can then start to do is start to frame a trade together. So if we drop down to the 5-minute, what we can now do is simply sit on our hands and wait for price to give us a sweep. Now, the higher time frame area of interest that we've identified is all the way up at the top here. So what we're expecting is a sweep of the Asia highs and then some sort of market structure shift so that we can take price in the opposite direction. Therefore, if we now play price on and we wait for it to give us a market structure shift, immediately we get this news field catalyst running us straight into this fair value gap that we identified up here. And after we get tapped into this fair value gap, we can see that price gives us this beautiful market structure shift right here. And it gives it to us with force. And this gives me a little bit more confidence in the trade because this was fueled by news. Therefore, we have to expect that price may take us out before giving us the actual move. This was the entire reason why I sent this trade into the higher risk setup channel, because this was fueled by news. So we knew that there is a chance that price can be manipulated before giving us the actual move down. But having said all of that, we've identified this market structure shift, and this is exactly how it looks. So we had the higher high, the higher low. Then we had this pause in the market, this new higher high, and then we had this break to the downside, giving us this lower low. So now what we're going to do is identify the key area that price are going to come into, giving us a lower high before taking price lower to give us the new lower low. And that is going to be our entire trade. And as we can see, once we've done all of this, we are now getting very, very close to up a beautiful trade that we can execute. So our next step is to identify the key area that we are going to be taking the trade from. And as we can see right here, we've got this beautiful fair value gap right in the middle of this range that gave us the market structure shift. So we put our entries right at the open of that fair value gap. We put our stop losses just above the most local high, and then we target the opposing liquidity, which in this case is the Asia low. So we had the stops just a little bit higher, just like this, and we were targeting the Asia lows. So as soon as this happens, we now understand where we are in terms of price action. We can then start to play price on to see what happens. Price comes up, gives us this beautiful tap into the trade, and then from there, it just plummets straight to our take profit. As we can see right there, it gives us the beautiful run straight to the take profit. Now, both of these trades were again sent into the Discord, and everyone was able to profit 4% from these two trades collectively. We had no trades today because there just simply wasn't a setup in the market. And if you're not part of the Discord, then I would highly recommend going down in the description and again clicking that link to become part of the community. And whilst you're down there, I would highly ask you to kindly please like and comment on this video so that way we can be pushed out to somebody else who may be in need of learning a strategy that is profitable, and that way we can all grow together collectively as traders. But having said all of that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and did learn something new. And if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.